Orange Piccolo versus Moro is a battle that we never saw. So on this video, I want to analyze what would happen if Piccolo had access to the Orange Piccolo form during the battle with Moro and how he would fare against all of Moro's forms, from the old man that we first see at the beginning of the arc to literally Moro absorbing and fusing with the planet. How would Orange Piccolo do? Could he actually beat this guy? All that and more today. If you are new here to Geekdom 101, make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications by hitting the bell, and also make sure your devices have notifications for YouTube turned on so you don't miss a single video when they drop. On this channel, we discuss all things Dragon Ball, movies, manga, and anime, and much more, and I thank you for 8 years of support. Now let's get to the video. Orange Piccolo versus the ancient warlock Moro. Who wins this fight? We're discussing Orange Piccolo from Dragon Ball Super Superhero and Moro from the Moro arc. We're going to discuss the various different Moro forms and really try to figure out who would win in the fight. And it's not just power, because Orange Piccolo and especially Moro have various techniques that may be a factor in the victor. So joining me on this topic, once again, I want to welcome back Prided. He's been like my partner in these, like, what if battle videos I put out lately. So what's going on, bro?
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for having me back. And we back here with another versus debate.
Yeah. This one's kind of interesting because we're dealing with a being that is primarily a being that uses magic for most of his run versus Orange Piccolo. And there is some magic in the Orange Piccolo form. But that brings me to my first question to you, which is, do you think that Orange Piccolo can resist Moro's magic? I'm talking about the magic he used early in the Moro arc to like turn off Goku transforming and to take Orange Piccolo's power. Do you think that Orange Piccolo, with them Namekian genes and Kami's old school knowledge, could actually resist Moro's magic? What do you think?
Well, in general, he could resist the magic, but he wouldn't be immune to the magic. So he still would be affected. So yes, he could resist, but no, he is not immune.
So do you think that Moro could just slowly sap away at his energy, like what we saw him do in the manga, and that would actually be enough to just beat Orange Piccolo right then and there? Are we done? Is the video over that soon? I don't think so.
Well, if we're talking about Piccolo with no prep time or nothing, like no intel or anything on Moro, yes. He did it to Vegeta, who is, when Vegeta even stated like, oh, this guy, his battle power is lower than me even using Super Saiyan. But yet, that same guy ended up bodying a Super Saiyan Blue evolution in his weakest state.
And just to clarify, too, as well, Piccolo was in the Moro arc, but we're talking about superhero Piccolo versus Moro. So, okay, now that we've established that the magic's probably going to work on him, that might be an early L for Piccolo. But if he has knowledge ahead of time, like what Vegeta and Goku did, they might be able to blitz him and figure out different ways to beat him. Now, we have not seen Piccolo use the Forced Spirit Fission move, and he probably doesn't know how to use it. However, there's other things Piccolo can use, like his stretchy arm move to like attack Moro at a distance. There's things he can do to kind of get around it, and he is a smart fighter. Now, how do you feel about Piccolo, Orange Piccolo, versus Moro when he wished himself to be younger and he absorbed 7-3? Because the 7-3 Moro, and we're going to talk about UI Moro in a minute. That's going to be our last sort of, that, and of course Earth Moro. But I want to go into the next, major change, which is when he ate 7-3 and he wished himself to be younger. Now he has the ability to copy your moves. Now, couldn't he just get behind Piccolo, pause, and touch him in the neck and take all of that Namekian regeneration and, the Makanko Sapo, the special beam cannon and all the stretchy stuff? Wouldn't that right there be the end of Piccolo? See, now the reason why I'm bringing this up, guys, is because you gotta understand, just because Orange Piccolo happened later in the timeline of Dragon Ball, there's this thing in Dragon Ball called hacks, which you and I have talked about. You've talked about it on your channel before. Power Scalers have talked about how characters that have hacks and techniques can get around stronger characters. So even if Orange Piccolo is physically and bulk-wise stronger, Moro has so many hacks at his disposal that it could spell Piccolo's doom. In fact, Moro wants you to be stronger than him so he can take that power for himself. So how do you feel about 7-3 Moro and Orange Piccolo?
Well, first of all, if 7-3 Moro even gets behind Piccolo and grab his neck, that is the end of Piccolo. Because now 7-3, I mean, Moro has copied all of Piccolo's abilities, including his highest level of battle power, which is Orange Piccolo, and everything that he's learned, the ultimate, all of that, everything that he's gained with knowledge, whatever. He's regained that back. But more than likely, the only thing he's gaining from Piccolo in this instance, in this case, is just the orange, is just the battle power increase. So he's just stacking that on top of the stuff he already had previously from that arc, or from that time period or whatever. So yes, that would be the end of Piccolo because Piccolo would have no outing tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. So right now, it's almost like we're 2-0. Moro wins. Like, and I'm just being real with y'all. Like, this is not, obviously, we're trying to be fair here. We're not looking at this. We're looking at this objectively. We both love Piccolo, and Moro was a cool villain too. It's just that, like, Moro's hacks, bro. Like, he's got so many. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and here's another thing. Piccolo is or should be. Let's say that Piccolo should be stronger than Moro 7-3, but we have to understand the levels that we're at. That we've reached or whatever. Moro is in the God of Destruction realm, all right, in those godly realms, whatever, because he was able to dominate an Ultra Instinct Saiyan Goku that was stated to have reached the God of Destruction realm, whatever. Piccolo, we don't really have much. We don't know if he's blue range. We don't know if he's Ultra Instinct range. We don't really know much, but from the looks of it, from the most material and the way that you dissect the movie and everything, it looks like he's more so in the blue ranges. All right, so the blue ranges is like the lower level, like approaching the God Destruction tier and stuff. It's like the lower level. So Moro 7-3 might still have the power advantage, but let's give Orange Piccolo the power advantage. All right, Moro has a plethora of techniques that he could use in order to and get around and be able to grab his neck. And he's also, remember, Goku was way, even at his peak, was way above Moro.
Yep.
And Moro was just so resilient. He was just
That's what made him an interesting character, because it's almost like Cell. Like, when Cell first appeared, he had to get stronger as the arc progressed. He wasn't just automatically the strongest like Frieza or even Majin Buu. And Majin Buu himself got stronger. That's what I liked about the character. We saw him grow with the arc. But even from just what we know, it's problematic. You know what I'm saying? And again, even if you were to put Piccolo on like Super Saiyan Blue from the Moro arc, I want to clarify this for everyone, because remember, in the movie, Piccolo said that Gamma 1 and 2 were relative to Goku and Vegeta, but because the film was written prior to the arc being finished, and we don't have full details on that, even though it takes place after, and also Piccolo never really saw Goku during the Granola arc. So we have to factor all that in. We're factoring all that in now, guys. Don't forget to do that yourself when you're thinking about this topic. And don't forget to hit the like button right now down below. And of course, leave a comment with your thoughts on how Piccolo would range against, Orange Piccolo would range against all of Moro's forms. I want you all to give me all the Moro forms, and if you think he'd win and how, or if he wouldn't win, you tell me. But anyways, even if that were the case, Orange Piccolo one-shotted Gamma, and Gamma is said to be equal to Goku and Vegeta, but that's probably Moro arc Goku and Vegeta, if we're taking the Moro arc into consideration with what was said in the film. If we are, then still, like, it is a very powerful Super Saiyan Blue, but he got one-shotted. However, as you pointed out, the dude has so many hacks, and and you made a great point about Ultra Instinct Sign. Like, even that wasn't enough. So we had to have Mirror step in, and what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I just said he just stomped. He gonna stomp Ultra Instinct. I remember he one shot him.
yeah, and that he's Goku. People underestimate how strong Goku was in UI Sign or UI Omen, and then we have, of course, Moro with the Ultra Instinct powers. What we got here is we had silver-haired Ultra Instinct Goku fighting Moro. This is when Moro was able to touch mirrors and get some of that angelic power, some of the angelic techniques. Now, I think some people are going to straight up say Moro wins easily because, and this is why I think they're going to say it, because of the speed advantage, the fact that we're talking about an angel here, and yes, he is a lower tier angel, but he's still an angel, and we're talking about a character that only silver-haired Goku at that point of the series was able to keep up with. However, this comes down to whether or not Orange Piccolo knows about what ended up happening to Moro's body, because if you remember in the manga, UI Moro worked for a while, but then his body began to fall apart, and that's what led to him absorbing the earth. So I feel like if Piccolo has knowledge that Moro's body falls apart, then he might be able to wait that out. But if he doesn't, and Moro isn't screwing around, he might just finish Piccolo off, because how is Piccolo going to even hit him? Piccolo's big, he's bulky, and he is fast, but Ultra Instinct, as we know, is faster than anything that ain't Ultra Instinct, or that isn't somebody who's powered themselves up to that, like like a Jiren or somebody like that. So what are your thoughts on now Ultra Instinct Moro or whatever versus Orange Piccolo?
It's a wash.
It's
Piccolo doesn't really have any outings.
Right.
Like even if he used the multi clone technique and he tries to use a special beam can zip around everywhere to confuse him and stuff, it ain't happening because you got to also think about the fact that he's mentally connected to Piccolo because he has the Namekian power and stuff. It's not really nothing he could really do. And then with all his magic and stuff going along with his Ultra Instinct, that he did even catch Goku Ultra Instinct off guard with the clone, he distracted him and he hit him on the other. Like it's nothing Piccolo can do. It's nothing.
Yeah,
He gets the stomp.
I agree. He would have to figure out a way to strategically, if he knew his body was going to fall apart, which nobody knew at the time of the Moro arc, he would have to figure out a way to basically kill the clock. He would basically have to wait it out for Moro's body to fall apart. Then maybe he'd be able to win, but even then it would be difficult. So that's another W for Moro, man. The hacks, man. It's the hacks. It's the hacks.
And even if he did have the knowledge, I still think it's a stunt because he can't do anything about the speed and the overwhelming power and strength and his magic. He don't have anything.
Right.
He can't really do anything.
So the last version of Moro we want to talk about is when Moro absorbed the earth. Now, again, we did not know exactly how Moro was going to get beaten. And we found out in the arc that basically Goku had to punch or destroy the orb that's in Moro's forehead, because all the orbs had to be destroyed. Mirrors had destroyed most of them, but again, that's another factor. Does Piccolo even know about that weakness? But nevertheless, let's say he did know. Let's say he did know.
I do think he does know because of Vegeta.
That's true, but it would just come down to like this what if battle, like if it happened like without any preparation or with preparation. But again, it's there's a lot of variables here. That's why I'm bringing it up. So in the fight, we saw Goku gather energy and Vegeta help with Force Spirit Fission with Oob and all that. I'm not entirely sure if Orange Piccolo would have that to his advantage, because we have to remember that, Vegeta and Goku, they all work together, and Oob, Majin Buu. Here, if it's just Orange Piccolo versus Earth Moro, I don't think he has a chance. If he has knowledge and if there's other people helping to donate energy, he might have a chance. Now, I want to bring this up real quick, too. The whole thing about the crystals, obviously, Piccolo does not have the Susanoo form, the Goku's projection form. He doesn't have that, but Piccolo can make himself giant. Now, if Piccolo makes himself giant, presumably he can just walk up to Moro's head and punch it, right? But will Moro even let him do that? So that's, again, I could see it happening with help, but I think without help, bro, I think it's over.
Yeah, he's not winning that without help. Even Goku needed help. And that's
Right.
And we all know, like, if Ultra Instinct Goku couldn't do it, not really many people can do it. Like, I don't even think Ultra Ego Vegeta could do it. Well, he could because he has a Hawkeye, so he doesn't even have to really get close. But Piccolo has moves that could do it. Like, if he can do it, he would need the help, and he would have to charge that Special Beam Cannon. I think Special Beam Cannon can actually pierce and go through and destroy that crystal. So, but the issue is time. Not only the time, how is he going to be able to charge his energy if his energy is getting drained at the same time? Then not only is his energy getting drained at the same time, it's not like Moro is not the planet itself. He's merged, so he can pop up anywhere on the planet where Orange Piccolo is. Like, so without help, and he's there all his own, he can't. He's not going to be able to win. He doesn't have the battle power. He doesn't have any supporting cast to help him and back him to distract or anything. I mean, if he used the multi-clone, he's going to be splitting his own power. So it's not. nothing's really in his favor in this case.
And,
Even though he does have the things to be able to get it done, he won't be able to get it done.
right, and we have to start to factor in because I know someone's probably going to bring this up. Even though Piccolo and Kami, obviously Kami has knowledge of God Ki and the gods and all that because he was the god of Earth. I know it was the guardian of Earth in the dub, but he's the god of Earth. Kami means God in Japanese, literally. It's one of those situations where, because Kami was such a low tier god, he probably had no idea. Because otherwise, Piccolo would have said something because he still has Kami inside of him. Kami has no idea who Moro is, his backstory, or his weakness. He's not the Oracle Fish. He's not Whis. Gods in Dragon Ball don't have all that knowledge. Only the tippy top ones do, like the Grand Priest and guys like that, the angels. But even Beerus doesn't know everything. So it's not like Piccolo would just know what to do. And that's the situation. And even if he did know what to do, Moro's got so many hacks. So we pretty much, according to this video, bro, Moro wins 4-0 in all his forms, right? I mean, without preparation, right?
Yeah, without preparation, Piccolo gets washed.
Yes.
He gets washed without preparation.
The lesson that can be learned from this video, which is the lesson that Dragon Ball's taught us many times actually, is that even if one person is stronger, even if one person is way stronger, it does not mean they're going to win a fight. Physically, Orange Piccolo probably is more powerful physically. But when it comes to techniques, hacks, he takes a big fat L, and that's all there is to it. Thanks again. Take care.